Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another update in my colourpop project pan for you, and let me tell you, I started off very well last month. Well, we are now September 1st. Last month I started off very well, and as you know, I use my colourpop shadows the first 15 days of the month. Not really to get over with it, but just to have some consistency to it, right? When I know, okay, it is now the 1st of the month, I will use my colourpop shadows until the 15th. It's just easier for me. Started off well, and then at around like the 11th, 12th, I got COVID, and everything went downhill from there. So I didn't know it was COVID at first, right? I had like shivers and chills, and I was literally sitting in bed like this, and I thought, man, I just got a weird like virus or a bug, whatever. Yeah, it was COVID, and I didn't leave the house. I didn't feel like putting makeup on. I didn't use the shadows, and I also didn't write it down. I have my notebook here where I write down every single use that I do and how much the palettes or the quads weigh and whatnot. I didn't do that for the majority of the month. I cannot tell you exactly how many times I use different shadows and different palettes and all, but I'm determined to do that this month. Okay, I already started yesterday. I know I said I start on the 1st, but given the fact that last month was such a mess, I just want to have a head start. I'm going to start off with my colourpop quad here. This is the Get 'em Tiger quad. Obviously 4 shadows in, and there's a glitter shade in, a pressed glitter that I will not use, so technically I have 3 shadows to use up. And this is what it currently looks like. This is the glitter shadow. I use up the shimmer shadow. That was so crumbly. I have a picture of it. I will put it here. That is like, whenever I went in with the brush, now granted it wasn't a fluff brush, it was a bit of a denser brush. It crumbled so badly in the pan. I have no idea how that happened. So yeah, I used it up rather quickly. I don't know if I wrote it down. That is gone. One of the few shimmer shades that I have. As you know, I'm struggling with that. I don't have enough shimmer shades. That is gone. And then let me zoom it in. I think you can see the dips in these two very well. This is Moon Mixer, and this is a Feline Myself. And I have both of these on the eyes. This one all of the lid, this in the crease. They're not that easy to work with, okay? Like, you can also tell how muddy it looks. Not a fan. I mean, obviously they work well enough for me to keep because I did a how it does video on them. They're still here and I use them, but they're not that nice to work with, honestly. Those tips give me hope that, I mean, especially this one, that I might be able to hit pan, maybe. But yeah, so the only shimmer shade that is in here, the one that I was really excited for to use, is gone. Then I will show you my Baby Yoda palette, which looked like this last month. And this is what it looks like now. This was the last shadow left that I want to use. I want to hit pan on this one, which I did, so I left it, didn't focus on it anymore. And the last one is gone as well. There was Photo Grip, the dark green, and I remember I tapped off the kickback, and then the whole shadow shadowed and fell into the trash can. That is gone. Like, again, I didn't write down how many times I used it because it was not a good month. So that is gone. That's fully empty, and I'm happy about that. This can go now. I still have the packaging, and I just recently, like last week, learned that I have a severe dust allergy. And I'm just thinking, I have this one still sitting here from the Belle collection from Colourpop, and I have the packaging from the Baby Yoda palette. It's nice to look at, but it's also really collecting dust, right? I do dust, well, not every day, but I do dust and I do vacuum and all, but you can never fully get rid of dust, and I feel like the more I have standing here, the less good it is for my health. I will probably put it into my planner, as a memory keeping thing. I actually bought a new planner, a Hobonichi planner. I'm so excited for that. It was a mess to get because the servers were crashing for like hours. I got it, so this palette itself will go. I was thinking about keeping it and then putting other shades in there, as a travel palette because it has the mirror, it has 9 palettes, it's magnetic. Come on. No, so I'll keep it around for the palette update, and that's it. Last but not least, the Coast to Coral palette. I have done a how it is video on that. I will link that here in the card. And this is what it currently looks like. Right, so I took this one out. This is a tall. This one here is a beautiful shimmer shade, but on the eyes it just looks very weird. Because it's obviously not my skin color, but it makes me look very sick. I don't like the way this shade in particular looks on my skin or on my eyes. So that is going. It's empty. It's out of my collection. I don't even like it enough to keep in my cosplay drawer, so it's just going. And then we are left with these two that I can currently use. So we have Crush and we have the Keys. I have all of that on my list again. I have the keys on the eyes, like in the middle. It's not that nice to use, to be honest. Maybe it's just not layering well with other shadows. Maybe it's these that are the problem. Maybe it's this that is the problem. I have no idea. I would do a get ready with me next week. Sure, I will do one and you will see them in action. So here's the zoom in. This I use as blending shade, which you cannot see. This also why I didn't do a how does video on that, because look, I mean, come on, like, what do you see? I use this in a how does video, obviously, and then yesterday and today, and you can already see the dip forming in that one, which is great because I guess it's easy to use up, but it's also bad because it's a shimmer shade. I don't have a lot of shimmer shades left. I recently got a new one, like a K-Beauty one, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of like, it's like a gel, like a putty texture, but it's glitter. I didn't know it was glitter, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. Long story short, yeah, there's already a dip going. A bit of a zoom, there you go. I mean, this I've used as many times as this, with a very fluffy brush. You cannot see any update on that. I feel like this will also be the shadow that's in the longest, because I still have a blending shade in my Nomad palette. Right, but I figured if it is here in the colourpop palette, I will also use it the first 15 days of the month, so I can get some use out of it. And then after that, I go back to the Nomad one and use that one. So for the next how would this video, we have anemone. English is hard, okay. This one, and then diver. And I feel like I said that in the how will this video as well. If these work well, that might be such a beautiful look. Like this all of the lid, this on like the middle of the lid, you know, like as a shimmer shade. Gorgeous. Now the only thing that's missing is a darker shade, which we will get to literally at the end. And these two still look very similar to me, so I'm curious to see how they look on the eyes. I'm actually super excited to have finally started the Coastal Coral palette and finally use up the Baby Yoda palette. I like these palettes, right? They are like 9 pans, they are rather thin, they don't take up much space, but these are like all in the same color range, right? This was all greenish, this is all coral pinkish. I'm not that big of a fan of palettes like that anymore. Do you remember the honey palette, which was yellowish, and then the, what else did they have? The Blue Moon one, which was obviously blue, and then the Good Luck one, which is all green, and It's My Pleasure, which is all purple. I'm not really a fan of those palettes anymore. If I buy a new palette, which it has been a while since I bought a new palette, I want some more variety to it, okay? Usually cooler toned shadows. Now that I finally used this one up, and used up this one, like the shimmer shade, it might be time for a new palette. Like, don't you think it's time for a new palette? I've been working on the same ones for so long. I might look into them, right? So far, like, I'm not really keeping up with new releases, so I don't know what's out. I feel like we're going into Christmas season already, so we might have the holiday releases out. That was the update. I hope you enjoyed it. The shadow is out. I mean, I still have to keep it for the Panda palette update, but it's out. And I'm doing some good progress, I would say. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you next one.